PayPro HCS is among the largest payroll providers in the Southeast, and Mike Steele, Executive Vice President and Sales of Marketing, joins me here this morning. Great to have you here on Let's Chat this morning.
Good to be here.
Absolutely. Well, first off, let's just give an overview. Tell me a little bit about the company and kind of what your services include. And
well, we've been around for 22 years,
That's right.
So not a newbie in this business. We started pretty much as a payroll provider for small business.
Right.
And when I say payroll, obviously it's collecting their taxes for them and paying their taxes for them. Over the years, we've evolved into much more. Primarily, when you think about a company, their largest expense are their employees.
Sure.
So if that's my largest expense, I want to make sure I do a good job for my employees.
Right.
So we have developed into what is referred to as a human capital management or a human capital solution company. And that has everything, covers all the areas of how we take care of our employees, from hiring the employees, we call it from hire to retire, and everything in between. So we support from a human resources standpoint, and also through our technology to help them to onboard their employees correctly and to pay their employees correctly, time and labor system, benefit enrollment, applicant tracking, all of those things included in our software. And we have done, the Lord's been good to us, and our company has grown. We've done real well, especially here in this market, being locally owned and managed. I think people here in Chattanooga, not so much in some of the other markets that we're in, but especially here in Chattanooga, people like to do business with another local company.
Well, sure, and that's what I was going to ask you. There's some larger corporations that provide these kinds of services, but do you feel that that's probably really what sets you apart? It's like you said, you are involved. People may recognize you. I think you're a former mayor. Is that in the East Ridge area? So people may recognize you watching today and seeing you also a pastor. I believe you wear lots of lots of hats, many roles.
Bivocational minister.
Right.
I've done that for many, many years. I love working with small churches, and
Right.
I've always said I go do what I have to do so I can go do what I love to do.
Right.
And my business has allowed me over the years that opportunity to invest time in small churches and work in small churches. And
and nonprofits. You said that was a huge, part of
we do a lot of
your
nonprofits.
business as well.
Yeah, a lot of nonprofits. So, I guess when you think about my company versus the big guys,
Right.
You got the big gorillas out there in the marketplace. And what's the difference? Well, everybody has a piece of software. We have a piece of software. Okay. So you kind of start there. And then, but after the software, it's like, how well do you train them? And how well do you support them?
Right.
And where we have a real advantage over the big guys is that we do great training, great customer support.
Right, and you work hard to keep the cost down, especially
we do
for the
nonprofits. Yeah,
right.
we do. We recognize. I'm on the board of some nonprofits in town, and try to, even outside of my church ministry, try to give back to the community. And that's the same philosophy we have as a company. So when I'm talking with someone, I say, okay, you can use big guy company, and they're going to provide software.
Right.
Maybe sales and or support, maybe you get it, good, but at the end of the day, they're going to take their money and run, and we're going to invest money back into this community. And that's a good story,
right.
honestly, for us in this market.
Yeah. Being a pastor and even a mayor, you're serving others, and now you're serving these businesses, so it's neat how it all kind of
really does.
It
really does. So,
people.
From a business standpoint, even as my time as mayor, and as my time, someone said to me years ago, gave me a great quote. They said, if you need the job doesn't need you. If we don't see ourselves in that role as servants for a business, for a community, or for a church, then they don't need us,
Right.
I think some people go into certain things to get the ego, to get the title, to get that authoritative type figure, and we just,
At the end of the day, I've said that lots of times. That is what it's about, and I think that's why your business probably in this area has been so successful, is those referral bases, that you've been there, and that's the neat part about our area. It's large, but there's still that community support.
Yeah, interesting stat.
Yes.
80% of my new business comes from referrals.
That's great. You're doing a good job.
Well,
if people are watching today, there may be some businesses that need a little extra help, some nonprofits. How can they get in touch with you?
So our offices are on Chapman Road. they can, well, it's right there on the screen.
There it is,
Oh,
right.
yeah, so there's our local number.
Right.
And
PayPro
HCS. So if they were
HCS.com.
going to email me, it's simply msteele,
Okay.
just like Superman,
All right.
Man of Steel, at payprohcs.com.
Great. There's all the information. Definitely check them out online. Thank you so much for being here. Hope
My
you'll come back.
pleasure.